right, so I am now joined by the founder of the Concert Chorale of Harlem, so Rodari Simpson, Jamaican born, by the way, might I add. So, Rodari, how does it feel to be back in your home country partnering with the Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica?
Oh my gosh, I am so happy. I am ecstatic. My heart full. My heart full. I mean, I'm so happy. The Philharmonic of Jamaica is such an institution, recognized institution, and has such a traction in the space. For me, this collaboration means everything.
How did you get your start in opera singing?
Good question. So when I lived on Linders Road, my aunt used to have cable, and she would have the arts channel which played, and they would just play classical music. And on that station, I would hear Kathleen Battle. I would see Jesse Norman sing. These are old black opera singers that sang on these networks, and so I got that love for it. And when I moved to the States, I studied classical music. I studied accounting and classical music, and so from there that passion grew, understanding that opera is storytelling, it's dramatic storytelling. And so what you find is everyday life. Sometimes it's a story about a man and a woman, and the woman finds out the husband has another wife or something. It's well, I'm saying it's dramatic storytelling. It's also, you have biblical storytelling from opera. And so for me, the arts, the production, the vocal, the staging, the presentation, that appealed to me. And so I started performing in New York. I sang with the Bronx Opera. I sang with New Rochelle Opera. I sing currently with the New York Philharmonic Orchestra, and I do a lot of performances across Europe and the US. And so that passion came from those earlier experiences.
So you're a man of experience, you know your stuff. What is your impression of the Jamaican orchestra?
Yeah, so I am stunned at the natural raw talent, right? These are trained musicians. Most of them, some of them are trained, well, I won't say some, most of them are classically trained musicians. The others are trained, but they're also working profession, right? So they have a full-time job, and they've decided to take on their passion of playing a very specific instrument, right? And what that does to me, it tells me that it's not just doing it to make some money. It's something internal that drives them. And if it drives them, it means that they can't breathe, they can't sleep without doing this thing. And that passion is what means everything to me. So, and it's so permanent and palpitating in the group. I saw that in the first rehearsal last night. It's so palpable. They are just passionate about performing. And so the whole group of 40 I've seen them perform, the passion drives them.
Speaking of passion and drive, what tips or advice you have for anyone listening or will be viewing this of how they can get into opera singing?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, get some knowledge. I think, it's for me, try to learn a little about it. I always tell people, one of the introductory operas for me was Carmen. It was a very simple opera, simple story, but very dramatic lines. And the Edna Manley School of Music, which we're partnering with, they do have programs to help individuals musically, vocally, to become classically prepared. And so I would say, do a little read up, learn a little about the art itself. Listen, I would say also, listen to some real good old opera singers. Luciana Pavarotti, Kathleen Battle, Jesse Norman, Leontine Price. These people who have paved the way, and learn about them just from listening them, learn about them, and that's what will help inform if this is really something you.
Here, how him list them off the top of him tongue, though. All right, my final question for you: why should people attend the Éclat Opera in November?
Right, the Éclat Opera. It's going to be a musical exchange never experienced in Jamaica. It's not only opera. Let me just say that. It's not only opera. I won't give away the program, but there's opera, there is jazz, there is Broadway music, right? Because some of our singers sing on Broadway. There is spirituals, songs you would find in the church without accompaniment or some with accompaniment, and locally composed pieces, right? So I would say come for the musical exchange, right? It's going to be an opportunity for you to hear something that you don't generally hear all the time, to see people performing in a very emotional way on the stage that will interest you. And don't worry about if it's going to be, understood, because you will understand it. I guarantee you.
What about tickets? How can persons get that? And what's the cost?
Right. So tickets are, we have 3 ticket tiers. We have, I think, VVIP, I don't want to get this wrong. It's $100. We have the VIP ticket tier, which is $75, and then we have orchestra, which is $50. We are, and so those are the 3 tiers we have.
How can persons access those tickets?
So tickets can be purchased. You could go through our website. Right now we have tickets on the Concert Chorale of Harlem.org website. We also listed them on Eventbrite. So if you want to go ahead and pre-purchase, tickets are available on Eventbrite. You search for the Éclat Opera, or if you search for the Concert Chorale, you'll see those 2 dates listed. We will also have tickets locally available. I think it's Fontana Pharmacy will have tickets, and I'm not sure if I remember if Monarch Pharmacy was another location, but we will have tickets located across the island locally, as well as on Eventbrite and our website.
All right, so you heard it from the man himself, founder and director for the Concert Chorale of Harlem. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you.